Hey guys and gals, this is Blake Morrow, and you are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. And I forgot you guys could see my screen. What I was going to do for you today is, I'm looking at the euro dollar, and I'm trying to figure out, when's the right time to buy the euro. I mean, you see the dollar is pretty weak, and you see it's weakening against, the Aussie and the pound, other currencies. But I'm like, is the euro gonna play catch up? The one thing that kind of worries me a little bit is that if the dollar stops, stops selling off, that means the euro is going to get crushed, right? That would be my initial thought. Looking at the dollar index though, the dollar index is holding the 618. I think if it's rolling over here again, the euro is going to hopefully at some point start to play some catch up. But I'm like I said, I'm a little concerned that in the event the dollar decides it wants to go higher, then we're gonna have a bit of a problem with the euro. So right now, I think we got to look at the 50% retracement in the dollar index that comes in at 98.85. So let's see if that continues to if that holds up the market or not. And if you look at the Aussie is getting close to where I want to sell it actually, and that's coming up towards the 64.50 level, which is the 618 retracing. This one right here, you can see this. See it right here. All right, so it's about the 618 retracement is where I'm wanting to sell it. Now, here's the thing though, I'm not going to just stick an offer out and sell it. The reason why is this is a pretty bullish move. I mean, if you look at you look at the potential of the Aussie here. I'm going to draw this flag out, okay? So if you look at the potential of the Aussie here, the Aussie still has, I mean, we could theoretically trade all the way up towards 67 cents, somewhere up here. So I don't want to just prematurely start selling the Aussie. I do think that the 618 will at least hold it for a little bit, but how about if it doesn't? If you think about what's happening here, about let's say the euro starts to actually bounce and we get to 110. Where's that put the Aussie? Well, the Aussie that's at 63, let's just say 63.80 roughly. I mean, we could be trading at 65 cents. The euro makes it up to 111, the Aussie might be trading at 67 cents. So I don't want to just run out and start selling the Aussie. What I am going to be doing is watching to see what the reaction is of the Aussie dollar at roughly 64.50. So as you can see, I have alarms set up right here, and actually I should probably make some adjustments because we're way past those. I'll move that over here. Once the Aussie gets above 64 cents, I'm going to start watching it rather closely, obviously. But I'm not going to sit here and just stand in its way either, because if the dollar starts picking up momentum against other currencies, like, let's take a look at the cable. The cable's at a 618 retracement. What if the cable starts making its way to 128? Aussie makes its way above 64.50, pound makes its way up towards 128. The euro is probably going to be trading at 110, 111. So the dollar could actually continue to pick up some downside momentum across the board. So to run out and start shorting the Aussie doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me at this moment. Now, one of the things that you might want to do, and this is the one thing that I'm kind of scoping out, and I might have mentioned this during the week ahead video, but I'm going to mention it right now, is the Euro Aussie. Okay, if the Aussie comes up and hits resistance and it looks like it's kind of struggling, but the euro looks like it's actually starting to play some catch up, I think the Euro Aussie might be a play down here below 170. If you look at the previous, this is a big previous channel, okay, and big breakout point. You can see big breakout point right here at 66. Okay, so down here at the 69 cent level roughly, and then there you see the 78% retracement comes in at 169. So 170, 169, I'm actually interested in going long the Euro Aussie. And like I said, it's going to be more of how the Aussie reacts at resistance versus me looking at, obviously look at the Euro as well. But I think the Euro Aussie might be a potential, pickup for a long down at these levels, whether it's a confluence of the fib levels, previous trend lines, channel support, all sorts of things. I'll see where equities are at, how equities are responding, because obviously if the equity market starts to show a little bit of resistance, then that might, it's struggling at the highs, that might actually, pick the Euro Aussie up off of support. Hold on one, shoot guys, I got to figure out what the, somebody is at my front door and I don't know who. So you guys are going to have to hold on. Oh, dropped off something and left. Okay. All right. I'll have to go check that here in a moment. But anyway, that's what I'm going to check with the Euro Aussie. That's something that's, it's on my radar. And just so you guys know, I actually have tried to play the Euro Aussie on the long side last week, and I got run over as it continued through support. So I just want to be very careful with how I'm treating it down here. Now, one of the last things I wanted to look at really quick, just because you guys are probably more curious about what the S&P is doing. The S&P, watch this daily chart. I think today's daily chart is going to be pretty important. I want to be bearish a little higher than where we're currently at. I'm going to be a little bummed out if we just kind of stop here today and just reverse lower. But this daily candle, let me move this over just a little bit so I can zoom in. Okay. This daily candle, if we close like here where we're at right now or a little lower, this is going to be dark cloud cover, which is a bearish reversal setup. And then I'm going to have to start looking for shorts in the S&P, like adding to my shorts, because what I've been wanting to do, for those of you that don't know, I'm short around 26.30 is my average. And it's small, super small, like small enough to where, I can get to 2900. I'd gladly add up there, but I'm going to be a little bummed out if we don't make it all the way up, there, because I don't want to start adding, at these levels. It would have frustrated me, because that means that I just was way too premature and I didn't get all the levels that I really wanted. But we've got to keep an eye on the S&P, especially if we close, we'd have to close at our lows, to give us some dark cloud cover here. And also keeping in mind, it is Monday. We could turn it around towards the end of the week, midweek, like tomorrow, start seeing some buyers come in, and maybe towards the end of the week take us up towards 2900. But I'm going to be watching price action in the S&P right now. I'm not doing anything here, but as you guys know, this is the 50% retracement, the 50% back of the sell-off, and that's where we're struggling right now. So it's going to be interesting to see if the S&P can hold these levels or not. Channel support is obviously very important for bulls, and that comes in at 2640. So currently, and that's obviously rising every day. So tomorrow it's going to be 2660, and it's going to go up probably by 15 or 20 points every day, this ascending channel. Something else to keep an eye on. All right, guys and gals, remember, if you're listening to this late, that means you're not listening to this at 12:40 p.m. New York time on Monday, April 13th. That means you're not a member. So if you want to listen to this live, this update, so you're prepared going into Asian trade, make sure you become a member. And to become a member, it's only $1 for 10 days to try us out, and then you'll be able to have access to everything that we have, no matter what version of ForexAnalytix you're using. So you guys have a great one, or I should have said what version of ForexAnalytix you decide to go with. It doesn't matter, you'll be using the the premium version. All right, guys, have a great one. I'll see you tomorrow morning on the FACE webinar. I wish it was a little bit more exciting, but it is Easter Monday in Europe, so things are a little quiet today. Have a great one. I'll see you tomorrow.